This video is about Freyja strikes down dark spirits in Asgard until enchantment fades. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. Part 1. Freyja strikes down dark spirits in Asgard until enchantment fades. In the heart of Asgard, where golden halls gleamed under the shimmering light of the cosmos, the gods reveled in their timeless glory. Yet shadows stretched long upon the vibrant meadows as a dark omen loomed on the horizon. Whispers of a vengeful spirit began to echo through the realms, threatening to unravel the very fabric of the divine. Freyja, the goddess of love, war, and fertility, sat upon her magnificent throne, her heart heavy with an uneasy burden. With her golden hair cascading like sunlight, she appeared a vision of grace, but beneath that beauty lay the fierce spirit of a warrior. "The winds carry news of darkness," she declared, her voice echoing like thunder across the hall. The gods gathered, their laughter fading, fear glimmering in their eyes. It is said that the dark spirits, once banished to the shadows of hell, have found a way back. Loki, the trickster god, spoke, his tone mocking, yet heavy with concern. They seek vengeance for their imprisonment, and their anger is a tempest waiting to break. Odin, the All-Father, with his one eye steeped in wisdom, placed a hand upon his sword hilt, the great Gungnir. "We cannot allow the darkness to invade our realm, or all will be lost. Freyja, summon your warriors. The time for action has come." With a fierce determination ignited within her, Freyja rose, her heart ablaze. "I shall not let fear rule our hearts. The time for battle is nigh. We will strike them down, for love and honor guide us." Her voice rallied the gods, a flame igniting their spirits. As the gods prepared for war, Freyja beckoned her Valkyries, the fierce maidens who soared through the skies, selecting the bravest of souls to join her in the fight. Clad in shimmering armor, they vibrated with energy, wings unfurling like the dawn. They understood the gravity of the moment, for the fate of Asgard rested upon their shoulders. En route to the battlefield, they are hummed with tension. Freyja rode at the forefront, her spear, Gungnir, glinting in the sunlight. "Remember, my sisters," she urged her Valkyries, "we fight not only for ourselves but for every soul in Asgard. We must awaken the spirits within us, channeling our strength against the shadows." As they approached the valley where the dark spirits awaited, a chill swept through the air, and the clouds darkened like the sorrowful cries of the innocent. The ground trembled beneath them, as if the earth itself feared what lay ahead. The spirits materialized, their forms twisted and grotesque, eyes glowing with malice. Their shrieks pierced the air like knives, rising with a cacophony that sent chills down the spines of even the bravest warriors. Freyja raised her spear high. "Steady, my Valkyries, we shall cast away this darkness." With a thunderous battle cry, they surged forward, wings slicing through the air as Valkyries descended upon the spirits, their blades shimmering with an ethereal glow. The clash began a symphony of chaos. Freyja danced amidst the battle, her spear piercing the darkness, illuminating the night as she struck down the vile spirits. Each strike was a testament to her unwavering spirit, yet with every spirit fell, new ones emerged, their numbers seemingly endless. It was a relentless tide of shadows, and doubt began to creep into Freyja's heart. "Fight harder," she urged the Valkyries, sensing the weariness that threatened their resolve. Their faces were painted with determination, yet fatigue weighed upon them like a heavy shroud. The enchantment that fueled their strength was beginning to fade, as if set by the very darkness they fought. Loki, observing from the sidelines, chuckled darkly. "Oh, dear Freyja, how the mighty can fall. Your enchantment dwindles, and the spirits grow stronger. Perhaps you will find solace in defeat." His laughter echoed, a bitter reminder of the stakes at play. "Silence, trickster." Freyja roared, her voice raw with passion. "You will not taunt us into despair. The strength of Asgard lies not in magic alone, but in the spirit of its warriors." She rallied her Valkyries once more, igniting a flame of hope within them. Yet the battlefield painted a different picture. More spirits rose, their shadows coiling around Freyja and her sisters, suffocating the light. One by one, Valkyries fell. The haunting cries of their souls echoed through the air, filling Freyja with a deep sense of loss. The realization that the enchantment fading signified more than mere strength, it heralded a deeper tragedy. "Look," cried one of the Valkyries, pointing toward a towering figure emerging from the dark mist. A monstrous shade, wreathed in shadows, loomed like a nightmare, its form shifting and writhing. It bore an ancient and sinister power, a spirit forged from the darkest spheres of Asgard. "It is Helvigr, the harbinger of despair." Freyja gasped, recognizing the dread it inspired. Legends spoke of Helvigr as a force that thrived on anguish, a creature that fed upon the despair of the souls it consumed. Its arrival spelled doom not just for the Valkyries, but for all of Asgard. We must retreat. We cannot fight this darkness alone." But retreat was not an option, not for a goddess of battle. The Valkyries rallied around her, their spirits burning bright against the encroaching shadow. Together they shouted, clasping hands, forming a circle of unwavering strength. Freyja felt their resolve surge through her, rekindling the enchantment that pulsed within her veins. "Then we shall face it as one," Freyja declared, raising her spear toward the heavens. "Let the light within us shine, brighter than the darkest night." With renewed vigor, the Valkyries took flight, soaring toward Helvigr, who unleashed a wave of despair, shattering the ground beneath them. The spirits around them shrieked in agony, but Freyja shouted above the noise, the power of her voice cutting through the darkness. "For Asgard, for our fallen sisters, we fight until our last breath." As they charged, blades glistening and hearts ablaze, Freyja felt the weight of destiny pressing upon her. She fought not just for her realm, but for the very essence of hope that resided within every soul. But the shadows coiled tighter, threatening to snuff out the flame they had ignited. With each clash against the dark shade, Freyja recognized that the enchantment that had once fueled her now flickered like a candle in the wind. The weight of loss bore heavily on her heart, and as the battle raged, she glimpsed the faces of her fallen Valkyries, their spirits urging her on. Yet Helvigr as shadows entwined around her, pulling her into despair. "You shall become one with the darkness, Freyja," it taunted, its voice a cold whisper that seeped into her very being. "You will join your sisters in this eternal night." But Freyja's spirit ignited with defiance. "I am Freyja, goddess of love and war. You will not claim me." She thrust her spear forward, summoning all her strength, pouring every ounce of love, rage, and honor into the strike. With a blinding flash, the spear met Helvigr, and for a moment time held its breath. The darkness cracked, splintering like glass, and Freyja felt the shout of her Valkyries rise behind her, a chorus that filled the air with hope. Yet the shadows raged, resisting the light with a ferocity that threatened to consume them all. As the battle escalated, Freyja realized that victory might demand a sacrifice greater than she had ever imagined. In the fray, a decision crystallized within her heart. To save Asgard, she would have to embrace the very darkness she fought against. But only by confronting the shadows of her own soul could the light truly shine. As she prepared to face the ultimate sacrifice, the sky crackled with energy, and the fate of Asgard hung in the balance, the battle for the realm reaching its climactic moment. As the dust of war settled and shadows loomed over the field, Freyja braced herself for a confrontation that would echo through the annals of time, a legend woven into the fabric of existence. But first, she would have to delve deeper into the shadow, lest the enchantment fade and swallow the light forever. Thus began the saga of Freyja's struggle against the encroaching darkness, a tale of honor, sacrifice, and the undying spirit of a goddess who would not yield to despair. The next chapter awaited, where destiny would intertwine with sacrifice, and the fates of gods and men would be determined in the throes of battle. # Part 2: The Price of Light. As the ground trembled beneath the ferocious onslaught of Helvigr's dark legions, Freyja felt the weight of the world pressing in around her. Shadows snaked like creeping vines, threatening to ensnare her heart and extinguish the last flickers of hope. Within this tempest, the flickering enchantment of her Valkyries waned, and their radiant wings dimmed, casting a pall over the battlefield. "Stand firm." Freyja's voice rang out, sharp and commanding, cutting through the chaos. "We shall not falter. We are the light that pierces this night." But even as she spoke, the shadows clawed at her, whispering secrets of despair. Helvigr, the harbinger of despair, stood before her, a titan of shadows, its form shifting and swirling, a manifestation of every fear that had ever haunted the hearts of gods and mortals alike. Its chilling laughter echoed through the valley, drowning out the cries of battle. "Freyja, mighty goddess, how poetic that your light dims in the face of true terror. Your sisters shall join me, and you will follow, a flickering candle snuffed in darkness." "Noth?" Freyja roared, defiance surging through her like a wildfire. "You will not take them. We are bound by honor and love, and I will fight until the last breath leaves my body." With renewed determination, she raised Gungnir high, its shaft gleaming like a beacon as she charged into the fray, her Valkyries rising behind her like a storm. The clash was fierce, blades of light meeting tendrils of shadow. Each strike sent ripples through the very fabric of reality. Freyja felt the power of her Valkyries surge, and they fought like fierce storm winds, their spirits interwoven with hers, each swing of their swords a testament to the bond they shared. But the dark spirits were relentless, and the tide of battle turned. They surged forward, dark and twisted, a wave of vengeance, each spirit tearing at the strands of hope that held Asgard together. Freyja's heart ached as she saw Valkyries fall, their cries melding into the cacophony of despair. One by one, they succumbed to the shadows, their wings snuffed out like candle flames. Freyja, bellowed a familiar voice through the chaos. It was Brunhilde, the fiercest of the Valkyries, her armor glinting despite the encroaching darkness. We cannot hold them much longer. The enchantment wanes, our strength is fading. No, we cannot retreat. Freyja shot back, her voice steadier than she felt. We must confront this darkness together. It is our only hope. Yet deep within, doubt began to gnaw at her resolve. The shadows coursed around them, hungry for despair, and Freyja could feel its icy fingers reaching for her soul. In that moment of doubt, Helviger unleashed a scream that echoed through the valley, and the ground trembled. Look upon your impending doom, goddess, witness the folly of your defiance. The monstrous shade reached out with shadowy claws, and within its grasp, Freyja saw visions of her fallen Valkyries, their faces twisted in agony, their spirits entwined with dark shadows. "F!" Freyja screamed, her heart breaking. The shadows called tighter, threatening to suffocate her spirit. But she would not yield. "I will not let you take them." She channeled every ounce of love and honor into her spear, Gungnir, and with a defiant cry, she thrust it forward. The spear pierced the heart of the shadowy beast, light erupting with a blinding brilliance, banishing darkness momentarily, but the shadows resisted, clawing back with a violent ferocity. Freyja felt the backlash ripple through her body, almost throwing her off her feet. "See how fleeting your strength is." Helviger rasped, reforming itself from the remnants of light. "Your enchantment is a mere flicker in the face of despair." Freyja stumbled, but Brunhilde grasped her arm, her eyes burning with fierce determination. "We are not mere flickers, we are Valkyries, we will not fall." With renewed resolve, they surged forward, swords clashing fiercely against the dark spirits. Yet the shadows thickened, a suffocating miasma that chilled her to the bone. Freyja's breath turned ragged. Each swing of Gungnir was met with resistance, shadows coiling around her arm, pulling her toward the abyss. "Listen to me," Freyja shouted over the din, her voice rising above the chaos. "We must stand together. Each of us is a light that can brighten the darkest night." The Valkyries rallied around her, their bonds of sisterhood strengthening, but even as they fought, she could feel the enchantment fading like the last light of dusk. Then, as if summoned by despair itself, a dark wind swept across the battlefield, and a chilling laughter echoed from the shadows. "Your light cannot pierce the veil of despair. Dear goddess, you will become one with the darkness, a harbinger of sorrow, like your fallen sisters." Freyja drew in a deep breath, feeling the weight of despair closing in. "I will not be your pawn." She steadied her grip on Gungnir, the spear pulsing with a faint glow. "I will face the darkness, not with fear but with love. I will honor my sisters by fighting on." With her heart ablaze, Freyja thrust the spear into the ground, sending a shockwave of life through the earth. "Awake, sisters, feel the strength of our bonds, let us rise from the ashes of despair." The Valkyries, hearing her call, surged forth, their collective spirits igniting. With newfound vigor, they circled around Freyja, forming an unbreakable chain of light, defying the shadows that sought to engulf them. But Helviger was relentless, and the dark spirits rose again, an unyielding tide of malice. "You think light can save you? I will consume you all," it thundered, its voice shaking the very heavens. "Then let it come," Freyja proclaimed, her voice strong and unwavering. "We will fight not for ourselves, but for all of Asgard." With that, she charged forward again, her Valkyries rallying behind her, their hearts beating as one. In a cataclysmic clash, they met the darkness head-on. Thunder glowed fiercely as Freyja struck, but Helviger countered, dark tendrils swallowing the light. The battlefield became a tempest as shadows and light intertwined, a battleground of the celestial and the damned. Freyja felt the enchantment within her resonate, but it was fleeting, she could sense it slipping away. "We must push through. We are stronger together," she cried, her voice a beacon amidst the chaos. Yet the strain was palpable, and one by one she saw her Valkyries falter. "Freyja," cried one, her wing torn by shadow. I cannot hold on." "No, stay with me, fight!" Freyja cried, but despair seeped into the hearts of her sisters like venom. As the shadows thickened, Freyja sensed a catastrophic decision looming before her. The enchantment that fueled them was tied to her love, her bond with the Valkyries, and it was fading. Only through sacrifice could the light endure. In the depths of her heart, she realized what must be done. "I will not let this darkness claim you," she shouted, raising Gungnir high. "I will embrace the shadows, but not as the prisoner. I will fight alongside you in the light beyond." Freyja took a step forward, the shadows swirling around her, threatening to consume her whole. "I release my hold on this enchantment. I offer my essence to protect you all, to ensure you may fight on." "Freyja, no," Brunhilde cried, her voice breaking as she tried to grasp her sister's arm. "You cannot, you are the light." "But I must." Freyja insisted, her heart racing as she felt the dark tendrils entwine her. Honor demands sacrifice, and I will not forsake you. With a final, desperate surge, Freyja plunged Gungnir into the ground, a light bursting forth, illuminating the shadows in blinding radiance. Her essence flowed into the earth, merging with the spirits of fallen Valkyries, igniting their hearts anew. The explosion of light pushed back the darkness, a shockwave that swept over the battlefield, dispelling the shadows and allowing the Valkyries to rise again, their spirits entwined with Freyja's own. Freyja, they cried, their voices soaring as they felt her presence surround them. We will fight for you. With their spirits fused, the Valkyries turned their gaze upon Helvigr, fury igniting in their hearts. The shadows recoiled, the harbinger of despair faltering as the light surged. Freyja had sacrificed herself, but through her sacrifice a new power was born. Together, they shouted, their swords raised high. For Freyja, for Asgard. With they. ## Part 3, The Rise of Unity. In the wake of Freyja's selfless sacrifice, the battlefield erupted in a blinding radiance. The air crackled with energy as the Valkyries, reborn from the ashes of despair, swarmed toward the retreating shadows of Helvigr. Each warrior bore the essence of their fallen goddess, their spirits entwined in an unbreakable bond, transformed into a force of relentless hope. Feel her presence, shouted Brynhilda, the war queen, her voice ringing like a clarion call. Freyja lives within us, her love and honor igniting our hearts. We will show Helvigr the strength of our unity. With a newfound vigor, the Valkyries soared through the skies, their wings radiant, a brilliant tapestry of light weaving through the darkness. The shadows recoiled, shrieking in fear as the united force of the Valkyries surged forth. For Freyja, they cried, their voices harmonizing in a battle hymn that echoed across the valley, a melody that reverberated through the very fabric of Asgard. Helvigr, sensing the change in the tide, unleashed a wrathful roar that rattled the heavens. You think your goddess can save you? I will feast upon your despair and extinguish this flickering light. The dark titan stretched its shadowy arms wide, summoning a relentless wave of dark spirits, a legion that surged forward with a deafening howl. Stand firm, sisters. Freyja's voice echoed in their hearts, a reminder of her unwavering spirit. We are the light that pierces the night, we will not falter. The Valkyries, their hearts synchronized with Freyja's essence, formed a cyclone of light as they dove into the dark tide. Blades clashed, swords striking against the tendrils of shadow, creating a symphony of chaos and courage. Each swing was infused with emotion, a tribute to their fallen sister, a testament to their unity. As the battle raged on, Freyja's spirit enveloped them, guiding every strike, every maneuver with an otherworldly grace. Together, we are unstoppable, cried one Valkyrie, her blade cleaving through a shadow with a brilliance that illuminated the night. We fight as one. The dark spirits faltered, their forms dissipating against the onslaught of light. Yet Helvigr loomed larger, an embodiment of despair, its monstrous visage twisting with rage. You are nothing without your goddess, they bellowed, summoning a tempest of darkness that swept over the battlefield, engulfing Valkyries in chilling shadows. Freyja's essence pulsed through them, however, reminding them of their strength. You are Valkyries, forged in the fires of battle. You are the embodiment of love and honor. Her voice stirred within their hearts, igniting an inferno of courage. Onward, Brynhilda shouted, rallying her sisters. We shall carve a path through this darkness. We will reclaim Asgard. The Valkyries surged forward, their swords gleaming with the light of 1,000 stars. They struck as one, a tempest of fury and determination that cleaved through the dark spirit horde. Shadows shattered like glass, the echoes of despair replaced with the resonant cries of victory. But Helvigr would not yield easily. It conjured a vortex of shadow, a swirling maelstrom that threatened to consume all light. You think you can defeat me? It snarled, its voice a chilling whisper, a dark promise that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest. You will join your goddess in eternal night. Not while we stand united, cried Freyja, her spirit cutting through the shadows, her presence a beacon of hope. With each swing of their swords, the Valkyries fought with the heart of their goddess, rallying against the dark tide. Then Brynhilda, eyes ablaze with defiance, called out, Freyja, guide us, show us the path to victory. In that instant, a surge of warmth enveloped them, a glow of golden light cascading down as Freyja's essence shimmered brighter, illuminating their resolve. Together, Valkyries, recall the strength of every sister who has fallen, recall all that we stand for. The Valkyries joined hands, forming a circle of light, their spirits merging into a singular pulse that resonated through the battlefield. Helvigr, sensing the convergence of power, recoiled, its form flickering as if caught between melons. No, this cannot be, it howled, the darkness writhing around it in a desperate frenzy. The Valkyries surged forward, their hearts synchronizing with the rhythm of Freyja's essence. For Asgard, for our fallen sisters, they shouted as they charged, a radiant wall of light crashing against Helvigr's dark tendrils. With Gunny acting as a spearhead, they thrust forward, fearlessly piercing the heart of the shadow. The light exploded, blindingly brilliant, a sun breaking through the storm. Helga screamed, a cacophony of anguish, as the shadows shattered, dissipating into the void where they belonged. But the victory was bittersweet. As the remnants of darkness faded, the battlefield fell eerily silent. The Valkyries, drenched in sweat and remnants of shadow, stood amidst the echoes of their fierce battle, breathing heavily, and yet something was amiss. Where was Freyja? Freyja! Brunhilde cried, scanning the horizon, her heart racing. Where are you? The light that had once suffused the air began to dim, a weight of loss settling upon them like an oppressive shroud. In that moment, a shimmering figure appeared before them, a spectral vision of Freyja herself, radiant and ethereal. "My sisters," she said, her voice echoing through the still air like a loving embrace. "You have done it, through your unity and love. You have vanquished Helvigr, but my time here is fleeting." "Malf," Brunhilde cried, stepping forward, tears brimming in her eyes. "You sacrificed yourself for us. We can't lose you again." "With every bond we forged, every act of bravery, I live on through you," Freyja replied, her shimmering form illuminating the darkness that lingered. "I will always be with you, in every battle you face and every choice you make. You are my legacy." "But we need you," cried another Valkyrie, her voice trembling. "This victory is not the same without you." "It is through your strength that I endure," Freyja assured them, her presence radiating warmth and light. "You have sparked a divine change, a bond unbreakable, a legacy of honor." With a graceful gesture, Freyja conjured images of her Valkyries, past and present, their hearts intertwined in a tapestry of love and bravery. "You are the guardians of Asgard now. You must carry forth the light and honor my name, my sisters." As her essence began to fade, Brunhilde stepped forward, determination filling her heart. "Then we will fight for you, Freyja. We will honor your legacy. We will protect Asgard and ensure that no darkness ever encroaches upon our home again." The Valkyries intertwined their hands, breathing as one, their spirits igniting into a chorus of strength. For Freyja, for Asgard, they shouted in unison, their voices a powerful anthem that echoed through the valleys of their homeland. Freyja's spirit glowed brighter, a smile gracing her lips. "Then go forth, my Valkyries, your journey has just begun. Remember, love and honor are your greatest weapons. The light will always prevail as long as your hearts are united." With one final flare of radiant light, Freyja vanished, leaving behind a lingering warmth, a promise that would forever echo in their hearts. The Valkyries stood together, their spirits entwined, hearts alive with the flame of their goddess. As dawn broke over the battlefield, illuminating the remnants of their fierce battle, the Valkyries knew that their journey had only just begun. They would rebuild Asgard, honor the fallen, and forge a new destiny together. With heads held high and hearts filled with determination, Brunhilde led her sisters away from the battlefield, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The legacy of Freyja would guide them, and through love and unity they would rise, warriors of light against the ever-looming darkness. In the annals of time, the tale of Freyja and her Valkyries would be etched into the stars, a saga of sacrifice, honor, and the unyielding spirit of those who dare to fight for what they love most. As long as their hearts beat as one, hope would never wane, and the light would always shine brightly in the realms of gods and men alike. Thus, a new chapter began, filled with legends yet to be written, as the Valkyries soared into the dawn, determined to safeguard Asgard, champions of the light that will forever endure. Part 4, The Reckoning of Shadows. As the dawn broke over the battlefield, the Valkyries stood united, the heaviness of their recent victory settling in like a dual-edged sword. The sun cast golden rays over the remnants of darkness, illuminating the scars of war and the spirits of the fallen that still lingered in the air. Freyja's sacrifice had saved them, but the cost weighed heavily on their hearts. "Gather the fallen," Brunhilde commanded, her voice resolute, yet laced with sorrow. "We will honor our sisters with a funeral worthy of their bravery." The other Valkyries nodded solemnly, their wings drooping slightly, exhaustion evident in their glances. They methodically moved across the battlefield, gathering the remnants of their fallen comrades, each lifeless form a painful reminder of the price of their victory. Amidst the hushed conversations and the crackling embers of the battlefield, a shadow stirred. Emerging from the now tamed darkness was Loki, his face twisted into a perverse grin. "Though, what a spectacular display of camaraderie," he called out, his voice dripping with mockery. "But do you think this fleeting victory will last? The darkness you vanquished will return, more ferocious than ever." Brunhilde's eyes narrowed, her grip tightening around the hilt of her sword. Loki, do not taunt us with your riddles, or we will rebuild and prepare. You underestimate the strength of our unity. Unity? Loki laughed, a sound that echoed like the caw of a raven. What is that but a thin veil over the cracks of despair? Your hearts are heavy with loss, and in that pain lies your greatest vulnerability. He stepped closer, an unsettling energy radiating from him. You are merely postponing the inevitable. Leave us, trickster, the another Valkyrie shouted, her voice sharp enough to cut. Your words carry no weight here. We will not fall into despair. Ah, but you already have, dearest sister, Loki replied, his eyes glinting with mischief. You may have won this battle, but the war is far from over. The dark spirits will rally again, and they have a champion far more powerful than Helvigr. What do you mean? Brunhilde demanded, stepping forward, her heart racing as she felt the weight of his words. The high spirit of Hel, a force that commands legions of darkness, is enraged by Helvigr's defeat. It seeks revenge upon Asgard, and its wrath will be unlike anything you have ever faced. Loki sneered, reveling in their fear. You cannot hide from the shadows. They are woven into the very fabric of existence. With that, Loki vanished, leaving behind an unsettling silence that enveloped the Valkyries. As the sun climbed higher, the air grew heavy with the scent of burnt shadows and the memories of lives lost. We must heed his warning, Brunhilde said, her voice steadying despite the turmoil within. We cannot allow the darkness to gather strength. We must seek counsel with Odin. He will know how to prepare us for the coming storm. As the Valkyries moved toward Asgard, the splendor of their home loomed ahead, yet it felt tainted by the shadows of the recent battle. The golden halls, once vibrant with laughter, were now somber, reflecting the weight of their loss. Odin awaited them, his one eye shimmering with the wisdom of ages. You have faced the darkness and emerged victorious, yet I sense the shadows still linger, he stated, his tone grave. Loki speaks true. The high spirit of Hel will not rest until it has claimed Asgard as its own. Then we must gather our forces, Brunhilde declared, her resolve hardening. We will not let despair conquer our lands. What must we do? Odin nodded, his expression thoughtful. The high spirit commands the loyalty of those dark spirits you fought. To prepare, you must journey to the well of Mimir, where the roots of knowledge lie deep. There, you will find answers and perhaps a way to harness the light against the impending storm. A collective energy surged through the Valkyries as they prepared for their next quest, determination igniting within their hearts. They gathered their weapons, reforged in the fires of sacrifice, and took to the skies, soaring toward the ancient well that was shrouded in mystery. The journey to the well of Mimir was perilous, fraught with dangers that lurked in the shadows. As they flew over sprawling mountains and valleys, a sense of foreboding crept over them, the skies darkening as storm clouds gathered. Steady, sisters, Brunhilde called, sensing their unease. We have faced darkness before. We will not falter now. We carry the strength of Freyja within us. The Valkyries pressed on, yet as they descended toward the well, they found it surrounded by a swelling tempest. Dark spirits swirling like vultures around their prey. The air crackled with tension, and the very ground trembled beneath their feet. Stand together, Brunhilde shouted, her voice rising above the chaos. We will not allow despair to consume us. We are the warriors of light. As they landed, the spirits surged forward, grotesque forms shrieking with ancient rage. The Valkyries drew their blades, shining with the essence of Freyja, ready to confront the darkness once more. Charge! Brunhilde commanded, and they surged forward, swords raised against the tide of shadows. The clash was fierce, a tempest of light against darkness, their blades shimmering against the howling winds. Freyja's spirit swirled around them, emboldening each strike, reminding them of the love they fought for. The shadows writhed as the Valkyries struck with unmatched fervor, each swing infused with the memory of their fallen sisters. Push forward to the well, Brunhilde shouted, guiding her sisters through the chaos. They fought as one, their hearts beating in harmony, each blow sending the dark spirits reeling. But as they pressed on, a figure emerged from the swelling shadows, a dark silhouette that towered above them like a nightmare-given form. It was the high spirit of Hel, its presence commanding, its eyes burning like molten coals. Fools, it bellowed, its voice reverberating through the air. You dare challenge the darkness? You will join your goddess in eternal night. The Valkyries faltered, the weight of its presence threatening to snuff out their light. But Brunhilde stepped forward, brandishing her sword with unwavering resolve. We are not afraid of you. We will not allow darkness to claim us. Freyja's spirit lives on within us. And what is a flicker of light against an abyss? The high spirit mocked, its shadows reaching out like tendrils, attempting to ensnare them. You cannot hope to defeat me. Together. Brunhilde shouted, drawing in the strength of her sisters. We fight for each other, for our fallen. We will ignite the dawn. With renewed vigor, the Valkyries formed a circle, their swords glowing brighter, an orb of light pushing back against the encroaching darkness. The High Spirit roared in fury, its shadowy tendrils clawing at the barrier they formed. Your bonds will not save you, it screeched, launching forward with a tempest of darkness. The ground shook as it unleashed its fury, a storm of despair that threatened to swallow them whole. But the Valkyries stood firm, their hearts beating as one, each remembering the strength of their fallen sisters. For Freyja, they shouted in unison, their voices melding into a powerful anthem that echoed through the storm. Brunhilde led their charge, her spirit ignited with the essence of every Valkyrie. Now, strike with all your might, she commanded, and they surged forward together, a wave of light crashing against the darkness. The clash was cataclysmic, light meeting shadow in a dazzling explosion that shattered the air. The High Spirit reeled, and for a moment the darkness flickered, revealing glimpses of the spirits it had consumed. Feel the light, Brunhilde cried, raising her sword high, channeling the essence of Freyja. We are the guardians of Asgard. We will not be silenced. With one final push, they thrust their swords forward, piercing the heart of the darkness. The High Spirit let out a deafening wail, its form fracturing as the light surged forth, illuminating the area with blinding brilliance. The shadows dissipated, consumed by the light, and the High Spirit was banished back into the void from whence it came. The air grew still, and the tempest dispersed, revealing the serene beauty of the well, now untouched by darkness. We did it, one Valkyrie gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. Brunhilde felt a warmth wash over her, the energy of Freyja enveloping them, her presence felt even in the absence of her physical form. Together, we have banished darkness, she whispered, her heart swelling with pride. But our journey does not end here. As they gathered around the well of Mimir, they looked into its depths.